Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Dentist Show. It's been a minute, but we are still alive. It's COVID still. I hope that you guys are keeping safe and well. I hope that you're doing your, safety precautions, wearing your mask as much as possible. I know it's difficult, but it's really important that you do put on that mask. It's very important that you wash those hands. And it's extremely important that you try as much as possible to social distance. Now, I'm joined by a good friend of mine. I actually interviewed her maybe about 2 years ago. I think about 2 or 3 years ago. And it's funny how, we actually promoted her show on YouTube about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And she has had non-stop calls of people just like reaching out to her and saying, your story really inspires us. And so we're going to be speaking to Ruth Amoah about, question and answers on why she moved to Ghana and how it's going. And does she have any regrets? Will she move back to the UK where she originally came from? All of these things and what has happened during this COVID-19. If she had anything that she could change, what would it be? And so that is going to be the conversation. I want more of you to ask questions. I know that there's a few of you that are looking to move back home to Ghana or somewhere in Africa, but you're not sure. I guess through this conversation, Ruth will be able to share her journey, her story. And so you'll be able to learn from that and take the right precautions, make sure you plan well, and then we'll take it from there. And so before we go into the show, I just want to say a big thank you to World Remit for sponsoring our show, The Better Way to Send Money. You can join over 5.7 million people around the world that are sending money back home to Africa. And so make sure that you join that train wagon. You go on www.worldremit.com and send money back home to a loved one in Ghana, especially this Christmas time where a lot of people are waiting for that bronya sika. Make sure that you are sending money back home to a loved one. A special thanks to my daughter's product, Princess Aria, for making our skin look gorgeous. And make sure you go on ariasheerbutter.com and purchase your amazing shea butter. It smells amazing. So she's got like vanilla flavor and she's got peach. It smells so good and it looks and it works. Look at my skin, chocolatey. So make sure you do that. And then also don't forget to, purchase the best shito in Africa, the best shito around the globe. ProdigyFoodCo.com. Go on there. Cassie's Classics. She also does fufu as well. Go online and purchase. And then I know you're looking at my lips and you're thinking, Dental, what are you wearing? What's on your lips? Well, it's Vesta London Beauty Lip Glaze. So make sure, again, you go online and purchase. It's VestaLondonBeauty.com. This is the one that I'm wearing. So make sure you go online and purchase. And it's a big thank you to Emma Bird for this amazing African print kind of earrings. Love it. She's amazing. Guys, I've missed you guys so much. Who is online here? I see a Siedu watching me from Spintex. True Life is on. Mami is on. Bernard is on. Hello, everybody. Guys, if you are watching, make sure that you share your pages so that everybody can watch the show. It's really important that we share and so that we all get this knowledge that we're about to unfold today. Let me see who. Nana Ejare, thank you so much for sharing with us. Thank you to Fuller. Good evening. Asiedua Champong, hello. Hello, everybody. I hope that you are keeping safe. The fact that you're even online here means that God has been gracious to you. So thank you so much for joining me. Hello, Abdul from London. Thank you. Abdul, please make sure you share your page. Fuller, share your page. Mimi, you're watching me from the USA, DC to be precise. Please make sure that you share your page to your Facebook or Twitter. Let everybody know that we are here and having a conversation. So let me introduce my guest. Let her come online so you guys can, say hello to Ruth.
Hi.
Hey, Ruthie.
I've been waiting backstage for too long.
Ruth, how are you, love?
I'm good. Very good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How's your day been?
Hectic. I've added on another business, so it's been a bit of a, managing staff, new workforce, but it's okay. I'm alive and I'm grateful to be here today. I hope everyone's doing okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for coming on today. I think a lot of people, especially during this time, are battling with themselves whether they should move back home to Ghana, on the continent, and they want to know what the challenges are. They want to know what to expect. They want to know what the positive stuffs are. So first of all, I know we've done our interview before, but I just want you to tell us the reason why you came to Ghana in the first place, having lived in the UK where everything works. There's a system in place. You're okay. You know your routine. Why did you decide to move to Ghana in the first place? And how was it like for you when you did move?
So for me, unlike probably most people would, do it, I was dared by a couple of friends, and they always said that I couldn't move to Ghana because they thought I loved my creature comforts a bit too much. So I really I didn't like the lack of SLAs in Ghana. So nothing happened when you wanted it to happen. So for me, my friends are like, look, you can never live in Ghana. You'd be there for more than you won't be there for more than 2 minutes, and you'll be back in England in no time. So that's what got me coming here or moving to Ghana.
So was what your friends were saying that actually kind of pushed you to say, actually, I'm going to prove them wrong.
I'm going to do this to prove a point. Yeah, exactly. And when I got to Ghana, I'd been coming to Ghana every year anyway, so it's not like I'd lived in Ghana for a bit before. So I knew Ghana, but I didn't know Ghana as an adult. I knew Ghana as a young child living at home with my parents. So it was different. And when I first came as well, I thought it was going to be, I thought it was easy. It was easier initially. I think after you settle in and then you get old and people get used to you, things change. So when I first came to Ghana, oh my God, everything just happens just like that. It's all happening. But it slowed down a bit. So first impressions were amazing. I thought everything was just going to be nothing. I thought I would be a billionaire by today, So yeah, early stages. They fooled me a bit, but yeah.
Okay, so when you moved, what was some of from, like you said, you came as a younger person, now you're much older. What were some of the changes or things that you realized that, oh my God, I didn't realize that, before I had moved?
Okay, so one of the main things is, I think before I came here, before I moved back to Ghana, I used to come here a lot on holidays, and I'd come with all my friends. And then suddenly they all got married and had kids. So Ghana wasn't the same. I'd be here and I'd be wanting to go out and chill, and they'll be with their husbands and their kids. And obviously I'm not married, so it's everything's changed. So I didn't have my friends anymore. They found other halves and moved on. We're still friends, but it's a different kind of friendship. So yeah, that changed drastically because obviously I was at that stage where people were settling down and having children. Also, what else changed? I think people expected a lot more from you because you're older and they expect you to be wiser. So you can't make as many mistakes as you would when you're younger. They don't allow you to get away with a lot of mistakes. So I think I came here and I thought, oh, I've just come back. My parents are going to treat me a certain way. No, they treated me like an adult as soon as I got here. And they expected me to do certain things. And I think I didn't think about all those things when I was coming. I'm telling you, everything is different now. Very different. But yeah.
And so when you came down, did you have in mind that, oh, I'm going to look for a job? What were you looking for?
Yeah, the plan was to find a job. I did find a job. So I think I found a job actually in my first week. I literally walked into an office and I said, I'm the one you've been looking for. Even if you're not looking for me, I've come. and literally they hired me. So I was in a job like literally in about a week. I think it took me all of 10 days to find a job. So, and yeah, that was the plan. I had tried applying for jobs before I got to Ghana, but I wasn't successful in any of them. Like I didn't even get a call back. And so when I came in, I just took my CVs, I walked around, went into offices. I think the first place I went was literally the job that I got. So that wasn't hard at all. And I went there and I just wooed them. And I said, look, I'd work for free for a year, for a month. No, I said I'd work for free for about a month. And if you don't want to hire me, then you can, just fire me. And they were like, no, we like your hair and your buzzing, and it looks like you know what you're talking about, so we'll hire you. And they offered me a job straight away. So yeah.
Is it that you didn't have a job in the UK? Like, what would make you leave the UK? Were you struggling in the UK? What was the issue? Why did you give up?
I was working for Richard Branson, attending all the most amazing parties, throwing the most amazing parties for him. I was working with entrepreneurs. I loved it. My life was cushy. I had a good life, great salary. Oh my God, take me back to those days. My salary was amazing. I couldn't even spend it. It was that good.
Wow.
Fast forward to, I moved to Ghana and it's totally different. But like, I don't think I'll change anything. But I wasn't struggling. Life was really good. It was actually quite hard to give up a salary, that kind of salary, to come to Ghana here. Definitely.
Okay. So you went into this office and you said, look, I'm the girl for you. I'm who you've been looking for. They gave you that job. And how was it like working for somebody?
Can you repeat that, please? Can you repeat that?
Yeah, I was saying that, how was it like working for another company? Can you hear me?
Can't hear you. Can you repeat that, please?
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
I can see you, but I can't hear you.
Uh-oh. I don't know what's just happened. Hello? Oh, hold on.
Echoing.
Bear with me. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can, but there's like a big echo, like really echoing.
Yeah, I can hear that echo. I'm trying to figure out where it's coming from. Bear with me 1 second.
Should I lower my? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I
don't know what's happening.
Your speech comes with an echo. So I can hear you, but I can hear like a lot of other echoes.
Yeah, bear with me 1 second. I don't know what has happened. I'm trying to figure it out. Oh, hello? Okay, maybe it was, can you guys hear me? Christina, can you hear me? Ike, can you hear me? Beatrice, can you hear me? Maybe it was Ruth's line that was making that noise. If you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up or just let me know that you can hear me. I'll be very, very grateful. Hopefully she'll come back online and we will continue the conversation. But yeah, really in essence, I just want to find out more about moving back home to Ghana, the challenges, the positives, which is very important because she's still here. So that means it's good. The fact that she still stayed is very, very good. So I'm hoping that all of you out there, if you are in the diaspora, okay, Mensa, you can hear me. Christina, nice to meet you. Asiadu, okay, you can hear me. Prince, thank you. I'm glad you can all hear me because I was getting a bit worried. Hopefully, Ruth will join us. If you do have any questions, guys, please, this is a time that you can send your question about moving back home, about recruitment, about anything that you're wondering about when it comes to moving back home to Ghana and workforce, setting up a good team, how did she even register her company, etc. Because now she's actually set up 2 companies. So I think it's really important that we share all of those information. Hello, Akosia Champong, my namesake Akosia. Also, guys, I've shared with you Aria's shea butter. If you're interested in getting her shea butter, please do go online and purchase that. Again, if you're interested in sending money back home, use theworldremit.com. If you're looking forward to that shitter that I've been going on and on and on and on about, I'm going to share her details in the group as well. Okay, Abdul, you can hear me. Okay, Denise. Okay, thank you so much. What do you think of the topic so far? What would you like her to talk about more or delve into more about moving back home? Are there any interviews that you'd like me to do as well? Please do let me know. But it's important that, you know, we keep talking, especially during this time. Like, you can't keep everything in you. We've also got, so there's several events actually, guys, that I need to tell you about. So I've got a Dear Denta event, which is going to be on the 30th of December for all of you young ladies that want to share your stories in a safe space. It's going to be young girls from about the age of 20 to the age of 40, where we really talk about the impact of 2020, the positives and the negatives of just 2020, and how we can move forward into a good year for 2020. COVID has been tough for everyone. So I will be sharing those details with you for you guys to subscribe to it when it comes out. But hopefully tomorrow next, I'll be sharing those details with you so that we can encourage those young ladies. Look, 2020 hasn't been a bad year for everyone. It's actually been very positive for others. And so just hearing those stories to inspire you, to engage you, to encourage you, to motivate you. We'll have some amazing panelists, young women that have also gone through things, that will be sharing their stories. We're going to be having some massage sessions, karaoke. Yes, karaoke. We're going to have a musician also sing and connect with us. And then we're going to be doing the Gooba Cruise on the Dodi Princess on the 3rd of January. So guys, you can, you know, again, register for that. It's going to be great. And then we've got a Taste of Ghana, Rock Your African Print on the 28th of December, where it's strictly about rocking your African print. So make sure that you keep an eye on that. That will be on the 28th of December. I think I've got Ruth back now, guys. And let me put her on. Hey, Ruth.
I hear you loud and clear now.
Okay, brilliant. I think it was your reception. Okay. Okay, so I've got a question from Pat Mensa, and he says, brilliant discussion. What were the challenges she faced and how did she navigate them?
Thanks, Pat. Well, the challenges, oh my God, where do we start? There's a lot. There was loads then, and there's still a lot. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. It's breaking up a little bit, but we can hear you.
Yeah, okay. So there was a lot of challenges in the beginning. Obviously, I didn't know much about how Ghana worked. I thought actually that everything would be like how it was in England. So I'd go into an office and try and like go into the Registrar General's office and try and like literally register a business or start a business, and it'll happen and I'll get my documents in a set amount of time and all that kind of stuff. Now, obviously, that's changed drastically. Now you can do all these things thanks to the government. You can now do all these things online. You can get them in only a few days. It's not the same as when I first came 6 years ago or 5 to 6 years ago. So that's changed. But those were some of the difficulties. And also, there was a thing that I noticed. Everywhere you went, you had to pay a bribe in order to move forward. So I was one of those people who was like, I'm not giving you anything. I'm not giving you a dime. So my stuff sat and sat and sat and sat. And that was a major hurdle for me because I just wasn't doing it. I was like, no, I'm not giving you nothing. This is your job and you have to do it. But as soon as, literally, it wasn't long before I realized I couldn't go on living doing that in Ghana because nothing would happen to me. And I was always threatening them, I'm going to take a video and I'm going to go report you. You just have to chill. Because if you need them more than they need you, literally, and they will make you know. So yeah, all those things. I came in and I was like, this is the laws and you have to do this and it works like this, and it's totally different. Like they are in control. So yeah, I found out very quickly that I wasn't in control, and the people that I needed were in control. So yeah, so those are some of the main. There's a lot of them, but I guess we won't have time to talk about all of them. But those were the
Yeah.
major challenges, especially in the beginnings when I was starting to start my business. Those were the major hurdles that I went through. The challenges.
Okay. Okay, Kobe says, I want to know if I want to start my own business as poultry farm officially, how does it start? I guess this question, because obviously you don't do poultry farming, but how did you start your business?
I can help. I mean,
okay.
I can share some insights. I think first and foremost, I mean, I don't know how far you've gotten into this journey. Do you have the land already? Do you have the day-old chicks, or do you have access to the chicks? You need to kind of have a plan. I think that's the first thing I would say you should do. Have a plan. Have a plan, and maybe speak to somebody who's in the industry. Don't know a lot of people who you can probably buddy you up with, who you can probably do a bit of understudying with. Because I think poultry farming, when I worked in the Office of the President under the Youth Enterprise Support, we had a lot of entrepreneurs start poultry farms. And these day-old chicks, they were like pampered pooches. They die very quickly. So somebody will buy like 2,000 day-old chicks and would all die. So you really have to know the ins and outs of running a poultry business. Like a lot of our entrepreneurs lost a lot of birds. So I think for me, the advice I would give you would be to speak to somebody who's doing it, and maybe buddy up with them or do an internship for a bit and get to know the nitty-gritties of running a poultry farm. That's what I would say.
Okay. Kobe, I hope that's answered your question. If you have further questions, please do ask Ruth and just send it in the comment section. Kwesi Platt says, what should you consider before moving back home to Ghana?
I think you should have savings. I depleted my savings very quickly. So I think you'd have to have, I would advise anyone to have at least savings for up to a year before they move to Ghana. Yeah. Okay. Because you run out of money very quickly, especially before you start earning money. Because the thing is, if you're coming from, like, for instance, England, where you're spending pounds, you think, oh, £1, it's what, 70 is nothing. And that's how quickly you go through your money. Because I was buying like lunch from the best hotels, thinking, oh, this is only £10, £20, oh, it's nothing. And then every day I was spending about I would spend about £50 a day on useless stuff. But I would never spend that amount of money in England. So my money went so fast. So I would advise you at least have savings for up to it. I don't know how much you would plan to spend a month, but I would say have savings for at least a year. Just in case things don't go the way you envisaged that they would, you'll always have some money to fall back on. And not be like me, who didn't have money to even buy a ticket to go back to England. So I had to stay. So yes.
Okay. All right. Kobe said he didn't actually get to hear you because the line is breaking up. But essentially what she said, Kobe, was that you really need to learn about the poultry farming if you're going to be doing that. She goes, when she worked at the Office of the Presidency, where they looked at a lot of entrepreneurs who wanted funding, right?
Yeah, they wanted funding. So I was getting them funding ready, basically. So yeah.
So there was a lot of them that, lost a lot of birds, a lot of chicks, because they had not learned a lot about the field. So I hope that you got that. But what have been some of the good things that you've learned about Ghana and how it's impacted on your business?
Oh gosh, I've become so resilient. Ghana makes you resilient. I'm weathering every storm that hits me. I'm like I feel so powerful. Like, I just feel like there's nothing you can throw at me that I won't be able to overcome. Like, it's just made me a different person. I think life is so predictable in England. Like, that if you don't have a job, you'll have funds every month. You can sign on and get money. You don't have that cushion or that safety net here. So your hustle is different, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I feel like I've become resilient, and I've been through a lot of stuff, and I'm still standing, and I'm so upbeat about life. and nothing's wearing me down. But I think if I was in England, even the weather will get me in a mood, and so I think the biggest thing that I've learned here is resilience, and I feel like I've become such a strong woman. I'm gonna tap my own self on the shoulder and say, well done, because I couldn't be who I am today if I didn't move to Ghana. I would be such a different person, like so different. I'd be worried about everything and what people thought. But here, I don't care. I'm just doing me and loving it. So yeah, Ghana has definitely made me more resilient, and I'm loving it. Absolutely.
So Beach Road 67 says, we keep deceiving ourselves about life in the West. Overall, the experience is good, but not worth it. There are more opportunities in Ghana, but the average Ghanaian is extremely dishonest. What do you think about that comment?
So hold on, what's he saying? So we keep deceiving ourselves about life in the West. Is he saying that life in the West isn't good or it's bad? It's good.
I think I think he what he's trying to say is that we keep deceiving ourselves that the West is better than being in Africa, because overall the experience living abroad is good, but it's not worth it. It's not worth it at all.
I can't say that it's not worth it. Honestly, to be honest, I think that's so unfair, because it's done living in the West has done a lot for people. Like, I think people, millennials now are just like bashing the West so much. I mean, I love Africa. Like, I don't give it up for anything in the world, but it serves its purpose, So I feel like now everyone's suddenly saying, oh, UK or Europe or the West is not good, and should all go back home and blah blah blah. It's all well and good, but if you don't have a plan, Africa will not be kind to you. There are people who have come here and things didn't. I may become very unpopular for saying this, but some people come to Africa and it doesn't work out how people say it works. And I think also people have painted this picture as Africa's amazing. There's so much opportunities. There's so many opportunities, but there's so many people going for those same opportunities as well. So you have to come correct. You have to stand out. You don't have to come to Ghana and be like everybody else and tap into the same things. Discover new things. Be innovative, So if you're coming here thinking, oh my God, the grass is very green in West Africa, and you're coming to Africa to come and enjoy, and you're going to become big because you're from UK, and you're going to come in, everyone's going to be like, hey, a couple of focus here, that kind of thing. So they're going to give you the pass.
Ruth, I think you should log back on, because your reception, we're having such a good conversation. People are really watching at the moment, but it's really breaking up. I don't know whether you can move your phone slightly to somewhere else where we can get a better reception, but it's really breaking up, and I'm hoping that we could get a better signal from you.
Can you get a better, because I've got my Wi-Fi on as well, and I've got my internet on. I've got like 3 different internets on. I'm logged into everything I can log into.
So maybe try and log on to.
Is it better?
Yeah, this is better.
Okay.
This is better. Okay, fantastic. Okay, great. So I think what Beach Road 67 is saying that I think you've answered, but I just want to tap on it again. So what he says is that we keep deceiving ourselves about life in the West. Overall, the experience is good, but not worth it. There are more opportunities in Ghana, but the average Ghanaian is extremely dishonest. Do you agree that Ghanaians?
I think he's not saying dishonest about Africa's wealth and the opportunities. I think he means dishonest as in doing business with a Ghanaian, maybe. Right?
Okay, so he's come back, Beach has come back and says, we can accomplish more back home if we were more honest as Ghanaians. Many have lost fortunes trying to relocate. And I think I would agree with him in certain aspects of that message. What I find myself is that Ghanaians don't know how to say no, which could be a positive and a bad thing as well. Positive in that, they actually do want to help, but actually, you shouldn't be helping because you don't know what you're doing. But they will still say yes. They'll probably take your money and not do the right thing. Because many have lost a lot of money, even like people that family members that have said, I'm building for you, and the person has come back home and there's nothing done. So what would you say to his comment that he's made?
So yeah, I think I may not I know a lot of people have lost fortunes, but I think most of the people that have come to Ghana and lost a lot of fortunes, I think it's mostly people that are closer to them. So if just as he was saying, a lot of them have lost it to family members who were helping them out on projects and stuff like that. So I may not be the best, because I don't know many people who have done that. So I won't probably be the best to answer that question. Maybe you would know better, but this is not for me. We can accomplish moving back home. Yeah, no. But I know about the average Ghanaian being dishonest. That's a fact. That's a fact. And I think sometimes you have to outsmart them. So, I mean, if you trust them too much, then they get to dupe you. Like, I won't do business with you and say, hey, here's this money, go and do this. I'm going with you because, one, I want to learn and know better. So I would be like, oh, can I go with you? Or can we call this person together? I won't exchange funds. I think people are just too free to give them money. And I think also it's a good thing that some of these things have happened to people, so we can learn from it and it doesn't happen to us as well. So we can use those stories and turn it around and do better for the fact that we know and we've heard about some of these very terrible stories. So I think it should also be a lesson to us. Let's learn from it and let's not dwell on it, if you know what I mean.
Okay, so what's your advice for a family who wants to move to Ghana?
A family. So when I came to Ghana initially, I came with a friend and her 2 kids, 3 kids, and a husband. Now for them, the main problem they had was school fees. So obviously there's free education. When they came, they didn't want to take their kids to government schools. They wanted to go to private schools. And the schools cost an arm and a leg. Needless to say, they didn't last. Their funds didn't last even. I think they stayed there for maybe all of a year, and they went back. So I think for me, you'd have to probably do your research very well. I would say do your research. Find a school that's affordable, because obviously in England as well, most people are not paying school fees unless your kids go to private schools. So that's the main thing. Unless you're happy to let your kids go to government schools, the schools here are very expensive. You'll be looking to pay in excess of about 3,000 USD a term per child. So that's a huge one to think about before you bring your kids here. But otherwise, there's lovely basic government schools that most people went to, and they do perfectly fine. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
I think when it comes to education, Ghana's got a really good education system.
Yeah, absolutely.
In terms of actually, when you compare maybe an 8-year-old child that's in Ghana that's gone to a really good school, and you compare them to maybe a UK person, you find that the 8-year-old may know much more than the person in the UK. So that's one good thing. I think that they do teach them probably a little bit of a more standard.
In England, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, sis. Yes. Whoa. School fees indeed is a major concern for families.
Absolutely. People would say here and say maybe, oh, you can, but the reality is, are the kids going to fit into the government school? So you don't, obviously, if I had kids, I wouldn't move them straight from UK into a public school, because they will stick out, like seriously stick out. So either they get victimized or everyone wants to dump on them and stuff. So I think for me, I would think of school fees for my kids first, or schools for my kids first. And I don't know, did you know if there are any non-fee paying private schools in
Ghana? No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think so. Yeah. In England, you can send your kids to a very good school and not have to pay. If they pass exams, they can go for free,
Yeah. Apart from SHS that's free at the moment, I don't know anything else that's free. Everything is pretty much paid for. everything is pretty much.
But the secondary schools are very good. The Wesley
Very,
girls
very
and the Holy
good.
Charles and Edissa girls
Exactly.
and
Prempe boys. You know, there's lots of really, really good secondary schools.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Pat Mensa says, well said, Ruth. We must be honest with ourselves if we want to progress.
I agree. I think people put it for a lot. People don't want to be unpopular, so they say things that they know people would like to hear, and I'm not one for that. I will just tell you like it is.
How
to be honest.
How do you manage having a team, having Ghanaians that you employ? How has that been? From doing the chocolates. Obviously, you did chocolate, and you're still doing chocolate. But how do you manage the team that you have, and what are some of the stories and the challenges that you've had with employment?
Hey, do we have time for this? Staff in Ghana, y'all, it is serious. The workforce. Hey, that is. I can't even talk. That is a thing. It's a nightmare. So for me, labor. Oh my God.
Okay, Ruth. I think Ruth. We have to sort out your reception because Yes, we have. They have to hear this. I think maybe try using your data and not the Wi-Fi. Try that.
Okay. I'm come off that. Okay.
Let's see if that would work. Guys, if you do have any more questions,
don't go anywhere, guys. I've got the tea for you. Wait, I'm here.
I think this is better.
Can you hear me?
Yes, this is much better. Or you can put it that way. That's fine. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, this is much better, Ruth.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, brilliant. So I was saying, in terms of employment, yes.
Do you hear me better?
Yes, we can hear you much better. It's much clearer. Ruth?
Okay.
All right. So yes, please answer the question about staff and employment. Ruth?
I'm here, but I think you can hear me, but the internet is a lot better. The Wi-Fi is a lot better. So I'm going back on the Wi-Fi because you keep freezing with my data.
Okay, all right then.
Yeah, Wi-Fi, the picture's stable.
All right, no worries at all. For everybody who is watching, is it possible to get excellent Wi-Fi even at a cost? CJ, keep the questions coming in. I'm just getting Ruth to sort out her internet issues, and I'll bring her back on. I'll bring her back on shortly and make sure that is up and running. Godfred, I'll get her to answer those questions as well. Guys, please, wherever you are, share your pages so that people can hear this message, hear this interview. As you know, with the Denta Show, we like to bring you conversations, good conversations that we all can learn from, all contribute to, and, educate ourselves, inspire ourselves that, it is possible, and talk about the positives as well as the negatives, and also how we can change that. There's no point talking about the negatives and not thinking about, how we can turn that into being good somehow, or looking at solutions. So guys, please share your pages, do a Facebook party, watch party with your friends. And then also please share your questions. I would definitely be going through that with Ruth as we talk about the move to Ghana, and setting up your business in Ghana, employing staff in Ghana, all of that and more. Keep the questions coming. Keep sharing your pages. Please do please do subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube as well. It's the Denta Show. It's Ordana Network. And I'm glad that you are on with me today. So let's see if Ruth has got better reception for us. Ruth, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So tell us about employing staff, managing staff, some of the stories that you can share with us, and then we'll move on to the next question.
Okay. So about employing staff, I think that's the easiest bit. So when everyone's looking for a job, they're on their best behavior. They'll beg you, they'll follow you, they'll call you, they'll turn up on time. Now, when you give them the job, that's a whole other thing. So I found it easy getting workers. That wasn't a problem. But attitude to work. Now, that's the one thing after I'd lived in Ghana for a few years, I was like, oh my God, I appreciate the West. People turn up to work on time. And if they won't get to work on time, they will call you. But no matter how many days you tell them, you spend telling them to call you before they get to work, if they're not coming to work on time, it doesn't happen. If you have to actually prepare to micromanage everybody in your team. Workforce has been like one of the biggest hurdles. I've had staff steal from me. I had a worker who I trusted so much robbed me of 37,000 cedis over the Christmas. I mean, and she robbed my clients, and she took money off of my clients and didn't tell me that we had those jobs. So in the end, I had the clients thought I had taken their money and not delivered on the jobs. Meanwhile, I had no idea because she was answering my phone calls. So I mean, the list is endless.
Wow.
I've been through it with workers. I mean, I've had people that we even tried to sack and they won't even leave. They're like, no, I'm not going anywhere. Like, they're that. My brother came from England and he was like, when my brother was here, Andrew, he was like, you leave now. He's like, no, I'm not going. And I'm like, hey, what's going on here? Like, it's that crazy. I can't even, the stories, oh my God. But and all that, I think I've come to realize it's the way it's the way I guess the way we're trained in Ghana is different. Like in England, you're just on the ball. Like you sign in, you clock in. I mean, even if you don't, you won't want to be the only one who's running it all the time. Like I felt uncomfortable needing to go to work, and then I'm a late person, but I was never late to work in England. Like honestly, never, ever. It's ahead, like 15 minutes before work starts, I'm there. But I think in Ghana it's the norm. So my brother came from England, and one of my workers, he was supposed to start work at 8. He went at 12. And he had his wache to eat first. So he went straight to the back and went to eat his wache before he came to start work. So my brother was like, what is this? Like, leave. He gave his wache. I have 5 and then leave. And he was going to go and eat, and he's 4 hours late for work. Can you imagine? Like when I'm like 1 minute late in London, I'm running when I get off the train. This guy is 4 hours late, and he has wache and a leave, and he's going to eat it. My brother was like, "What is that? What is that?" He was fuming. He told the guy to leave. He says, "I'm not going anywhere." I'm like, "Hey, Ghana will do some things to you, and you're like, you won't even know what hit you." But yeah, but the good thing about that is like you'll always find new people, and I've learned to calm down. It made me a monster, honestly. Managing the team, I tried the whole UK thing. I mean, I was working for Richard Branson before I came here, so there was like no hierarchy. And Richard didn't have an office in the Virgin building, in the whole head office of Virgin. We were hot desking. He would sit on the floor if the desks were full, and that's the culture that I came from. And so to come here and you want to be the same with them, and it just doesn't work. And I remember when I got my first job, and I was so close to national service staff, and my boss, every time she was coming, like when I'm coming, nobody moves. But when my boss was coming, it was like, oh my God, madame's coming, and they all start running. And I was asking her, like, why to manage people like that? You're like a monster in this place. And she's like, look, Ruth, that's how you have to be in Ghana. Because if you're not like that, they will take the biscuit. And I didn't listen. So here was me when I first came. I would go for lunch with the national service workers. I'll put them in my car, we'll go and chill. And then they switched on me. And I was like,
Wow.
See, I told you. So, but the thing for me, I didn't like it because when she left, nobody left, right? And I wanted to be, I wanted my staff to work the same way they work when I'm there, like as if I wasn't there. I don't want them to come to work and as soon as I leave the office, then they just start Skyping and doing all sorts of things. And that's what happened with her style of management. But then I realized it didn't matter to her because they respected her. But for me, I was so nice to her. Like, I was so nice to them. They did not respect me one bit. So I've learned my lesson. I don't even before in the factory, my mom was like, you're always talking to the staff. You're too close to them, And some of them would come and they want to marry you. And my mom was like, if you're not close to them, they can't see these things. Trust me. But
Ruth,
I think everybody will find a balance.
Ruth.
Yeah.
People are really enjoying your conversation, but they say, her network is still disappointing. They are loving this conversation, but they are struggling to really hear you.
Oh.
I know it's great. It keeps cutting out. It gets stable, then it keeps cutting out. So I don't know what because when you have it on data, for some reason, we can hear you better, but then it looks like you
guys. Yeah.
Do you have earphones? Do you have earphones that you can put in? Because maybe when you put your data on, do you have headphones, earphones?
Let me get them. I do, but I don't think I'll make any difference.
No, it will. So just put them on and then put your data on and let's see. But in the meantime, I'll just continue talking to you guys while we try and fix up her data, because the conversation is actually really, really good. Her sharing her stories about her staff, about getting staff. She says as in Ghana, you can get staff, but it's just the quality of the staff. And some staff that don't want to leave. You're 4 hours late, you come into work and you've got wache in your hand, you go and eat the wache before you start work. You would never be able to do that in the West. Like, it will not even happen. And so these are some of the stories that she's sharing from her own. Remember, guys, it's her own personal experience. It's not like everybody will go through this. Everybody's different. Everybody's journey is different. But this is, Ruth just sharing her story, her journey on what she has been through. Let me see if she is back. Hello? Ruth, can you hear us? Okay. I'll still leave her to kind of sort that out. Yes, Sika, she is very funny. Ruth is extremely funny. She says it how it is, and that's just kind of it. But yeah, guys, have you had anything that you've been through? What are some of your stories? And let me see if Ruth is back. Ruth?
But I'm back on the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
The internet just doesn't work. The phone internet just doesn't work. The Wi-Fi is like the best.
Okay. All right. Keep talking. Let's see. Let's hear you.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Wi-Fi is better than the internet. The internet. A lot. Okay. I can't even hear you when I go on that. I can see you.
Okay.
Every time I go on that.
Okay. All right. So, Rich Love says, true talk, Ruth, Ghanaians do not know when to draw the line between working relationships and friendship. You try to treat them nice so they will they work with you with a good heart and then they get too comfortable. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. But they would go into the fridge, and because I'm so nice and I'm going to buy takeout and I buy for everybody, they'll eat my food in the fridge. Because I'm not a monster. Wow. They'll eat my food in the fridge. I won't ask. Oh, madam, good deal. I'm like, wow, it's funny. It's too funny. It's like, where do you draw the line?
So basically, you become really nice. You become really nice and friendly with them, and then they kind of take it a step forward and feel like, oh, she's my best friend. I can go into her fridge and pick out whatever because she gives it to me all the time anyway, without actually asking for permission as we would do in the UK.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Let me see what Kwame Asanzi says. They really need education, especially when they are hired during orientation process, because I believe when you set the record straight to them during the orientation, I believe they'll abide.
Kwame,
It's
if you're not
true.
living in Ghana, please come and do this and let me know. I would love to see them in action. Like, trust me, Kwame. Please tell me you live here already. I need your number, Kwame. It's not the case. Like, honestly, it's not the case. I don't want.
Wow.
I mean, maybe I'm just bad, but to be fair, these people however you want to, and it just won't. Like, I've opened a new business. And okay, let me just go back to my chocolate business. I had chef whites, but they were black. Worker told me that he didn't want to wear the black uniform because to him, black meant death. And no one had died in his family, so he won't wear the chef uniform that was black. He wants a white version. Now, where in the world will our staff tell their boss that the color of uniform that they want to wear? You cannot go to McDonald's and tell them that you don't want to wear red and orange or red and yellow because those colors don't look good on your skin. Do you get it? But in Ghana,
Yeah.
you would find someone who would be ballsy enough to tell me they don't want to wear black because where he comes from, black is a funeral cloth and you can't wear it at work. So he refuses to wear the black. And yet he won't leave when you sack him. What do you then do, Kwame? What amount of orientation is going to help you here? Please tell me. Please.
Kwame, even Abdul's like, sorry, Kwame. Abdul's like, sorry, Kwame. Kwame, where are you? Kwame, where are you? Please, we want to hear from you, Kwame. Do you
Kwame,
actually
we
live in
need
Ghana?
to hear from you. Or maybe it's different with women. Like,
Beach Road says this lady is hilarious. Well, Ghanaians have their own work culture, which involves getting to work whenever, and not being accountable.
absolutely. What are you talking about? Water is nice. Let me eat my water in peace. What are you on about? Because of this small paycheck, I can't eat my water even if I'm 4 hours late. Are you okay? That's it for them. So.
Oh man. Okay. Derek says, how long is she living in Ghana and what has she achieved so far comparing leaving the UK, living in the UK?
How long has she been living, I guess, in Ghana? I've been here for 6 years. And what has she achieved so far comparing to, I guess, living in the UK? Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, I wasn't self-employed when I was living in the UK, so it's a bit of a wrong pool of comparison. Obviously, I would say that I was earning more money. I mean, I had a bit better take-home salary in England, but I think I feel a lot more fulfilled here. So I have 2 businesses. So I have a chocolate factory. So actually, we could even do an introduction on what I do, Denta.
Yeah, we kind of skipped that, but go on, introduce yourself properly.
Yeah, we didn't do that actually, so no wonder he's asking. So I have a chocolate business. So I was one of the first artisans to start a bean to bar chocolate business in Ghana. And obviously prior to that, I had no chocolate knowledge. I had no idea how to make chocolate or how to even like chocolate. So that's what I do here. And before that, I was in England and I was working for Richard Branson as a project quality manager for the Virgin Startup Scheme. So again, I've always been working with entrepreneurs. And before that, I was doing my project management and stuff like that. So I've always been working with entrepreneurs. And I think that's been one thing I've been consistently passionate about. So now I make chocolate here. So I guess I feel like I've done better here because I own my own business and I'm running it and I live off it and I pay quite a few people salaries. So I think my life is better here and I think I've got a better quality of life in general in Ghana. So yeah, that's it for me. You there?
Yeah. Okay. Let me see what others are saying. Okay, Eben is on. Good evening, Eben.
Yes. Eben is like a founding father of my chocolate business. He pushed me on my first day to go and so let me tell you a story about Eben. Eben is like an amazing like brother, friend of my family and everybody who lives in the UK. And the first time I had a job, like so it's to go and showcase some chocolate. Was it at Glam Africa? I think they were launching their magazine, Glam Africa. And I was like, oh my God, Eben, I'm scared. No one's gonna like my chocolate. Oh my God, I'm running late. And seriously, I was the kind of person, if I'm late, I don't go. So everyone was like, no, come. He was encouraging me, he was motivating me, he was like, come, people would like it. Just come, it doesn't matter. And Eben, oh my God, Eben, he motivated me, he encouraged me, I showed up and showed out, and everything was amazing. So thank you so much, Eben, for all the investment you've put into my business. I know you haven't reaped the rewards yet, but hey, my brother for life. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Awesome. True Life Story says, how can you stay in Ghana with a British passport? Do you need to renew your visa every 3 months or yearly? Thanks.
So apparently my connection is very bad. Messages from people in England saying I've got back.
We've lost her. The reception is terrible. Oh my God, it's such a good conversation. Very insightful. Eben, you need to be on the show this week, probably on Thursday. We need to do a show with you, so you can also share your experience about, you know, the to and fro that you're doing, setting up your farm, how you're doing with that as well. I think that's important for us to be sharing these conversations. Yes, guys, I know Ruth is hilarious. She would be one of the best people to work with as a manager, as a boss. She'll make you laugh. She's just got a really, really good heart. And I'm surprised that, you know, she's had so many staff that have robbed her. She's had a staff that have robbed her. She's had, you know, staff that just walk in casually 4 hours late, go and chop their wache with, you know, with willy and with plantain and gari and spaghetti and salad. Yes, those kind of people. But I remember I worked here for a year in 2014, and it rained. It was really, really bad rain. I got to work on time and none of my staff came in. So they didn't even call. They did not, you know, tell me anything. They strolled in around 2 o'clock and said, oh, it was because of the rain. Because of the rain. And I know that in Ghana, a lot of places get flooded and stuff like that. Look, in the UK, it snows and we still get to work on time. Like, there's no excuse. You have to find a way of making sure that you get to work on time. And so I think that, you know, the mentality, and I think it's really important that a lot of us people in the diaspora are moving back home so that we can mix with the people and, you know, try and learn from each other. Look, I'm not saying that, and one thing that we need to make sure that we get out is that people in the diaspora don't know it all. No, we do not. We do not at all. And I think that we also have to learn a lot from the local Ghanaians and find a way, an intermediary where we can work together to build our nation and make it great and strong. Yes, there's a lot of opportunities in the West. UK is comfortable, but Africa is still developing. And that's why I think there's a bigger opportunity for us to invest. Ruth was working with Richard Branson, earning a good salary. She came here, she gave all of that up. She started her business, but she lives comfortably. You know, it's not a 9 to 5, it's more flexible. And she gets to have, you know, time with her family. She gets to enjoy the sun, constant sun all year round. So I think that that's also quite important. True Life Stories, how can you stay in Ghana with a British passport? Yes, if you don't have a Ghana passport, you'd have to do the renewal at the immigration, or you can actually get a work permit. I think it's a word, or resident permit. If you're going to stay here longer, I think you'd have to get that at the immigration place. Can I open a bank account in Ghana as a foreigner? Andy, yes, if you're in the UK or wherever you are, you can actually get the Guba Diaspora card. And that's a prepaid card. It's a card that you load up money and you can use it. You can just send your passport details and we will register that for you. I'll put the website up for those of you that are in the diaspora, those of you that are in Ghana that want to have discounts. So it's also acts as a discount card as well as a Visa card. You can go to Asmera, you can go to Go Coast and have 15% off. You can go to hotels and have some discounts off there as well. So go to www.gubadiaspora.com. If you go on the website right now, you can get a Visa card, a bank account in Ghana, and use it as a normal Visa card, prepaid card. You top up, you load, and you go off. So you can get a bank account in Ghana as a foreigner. Let's see. So that's the information there. Let me see if Ruth, please, Ruth, have good reception. Ruth. Ruth, can you hear me? Oh, Ruth. I'm going to have to get her to the house one day and just have this conversation. Ruth, can you hear me?
I'm back.
Oh. Thank you too, Andy. Thank you too. Make sure you subscribe. Guys, make sure you keep sharing the pages. Let's subscribe. Let's like the page, The Dentist Show. Like it, follow it. Let's get the numbers to increase as we watch the show tonight. Let me see who else is. And don't forget, guys, if you're sending money back home to Ghana, make sure you use World Remit, www.worldremit.com. Ruth's line is crazy at the moment. I'm going to have to get her actually in the house, in the studio, and get to have this conversation properly because I keep losing her. And it's not very nice because, especially for you guys, let me see what Mabai is saying. I agree. We must collaborate with people on the ground. We in a diaspora can learn from people on the ground. We must stop the to know it all attitude. Absolutely agree with you. We need to be doing that. Okay, let me see. Ruth.
Hi, I'm back.
Okay, let's see. It seems, I know, Beatrice, the network, I know, it's just like, oh, come on. Ruth, can we hear you now?
Jess, I think I might have to come to your house and do this.
I think so, because it's like,
what they want.
yes, people are really enjoying the conversation, and it's just so frustrating when you just want to hear it very clear and it's not happening as well as we want it to. Okay, so David, let's see. David says, what are the biggest challenges you would face or you have faced?
I think I've kind of talked about that already, haven't I? One has been the staff. One is to work. Yeah.
Okay. It's a long time. Let me see what else is here.
Yeah, we've talked about it already.
Yes, T, she is in Ghana and her network is bad. I don't know what network she's using.
That's a challenge as well. That's a huge challenge.
The network. I know, Derek. I know. Everybody's enjoying the show and it's just frustrating. Let me see.
Sorry, Derek.
Okay, you are the chocolate lady. Somebody says, oh, you are the chocolate lady. Send some over to London. Okay. We had a few questions. Let me see. How was it like starting a second business and managing the first one as well?
Well, I'm only like a week into the second business, so far, I mean, again, thing is without its challenges in Ghana. I'm running a food shack without electricity, so yeah, that is very hard. Again, as with everything in Ghana, you just can't. I have a landlord who says he won't give me lights in my shack. and I'm having to run this business without electricity. I'm not gonna like quit because of him, and I'm trying to do this, but it's very, very hard. So yeah, it's early days just yet, and we're doing very well, to God's glory. But yeah, it's. I think after it's been about 5 years since I started my business, so I think the workers, even though they're a bit, they're paying to work with, they're very. I can rely on them. They haven't like the workers in the factory. I depend on them a lot, so I can leave the factory to them and tell them I need 1,000 bars tomorrow, and they'll make it for me. So I love that relationship. I love how that relationship has panned out. So I'm able to lead them and work on the business, and it hasn't really affected me in any way, shape, or form. So I'm very grateful. I mean, we're joking about this stuff, but also I think you would also find very good workers here who are very loyal and dedicated. I mean, one person stole money from me, and my mom, bless her soul, she said to me, you know what, don't sack this guy, because every time you need him and every time someone calls you last minute, he shows up for you. And these are the kind of people that you need in your business. And I'm so glad I listened to her. So he was stealing from me because the girl was telling him, can you make this chocolate for me and I'll give you some money? And my mom was like, you need to apply wisdom to these things. Don't see everybody that does you wrong. Some people are valuable to your business, and if you lose them, it'll affect you. And I listened, and like, that's been one of the best advice my mom has given me ever, really. And I'm so grateful to her for that, because he's the same guy that I'm leaving this place to. He doesn't handle any money or no phone calls, but at least he can produce the chocolates. So I'm very happy that I have workers like that who can, help me when I need them to. Yeah. So
absolutely. You know what, Ruth? I'm going to have to bring you to the house for us to have this conversation. Okay. We've got so many people that are online that are watching us, but the internet is really, really not helping us. They've got loads of questions. And so, guys, I think that, the little that we have heard, it's been very impactful. But I will be getting Ruth to the house one of these days out of her busy schedule to join me at home so we can have a proper conversation with you guys. I'm so sorry that the network has been terrible. Don't mention the network, please. Don't mention the network, because I think I know which network it is.
I was about to mention the network.
Don't mention the network, Ruth. Don't mention the network. But Ruth, maybe, a last word for people that are watching that are thinking of moving back home.
Please do. You're fortunate enough to have people like Denta who are happy to help you and would connect you to any opportunities. I mean, I keep talking about these people that I met at the Cuba careers in UK, and how some of them have come back and have started businesses off the back of that one little session. It is mind-boggling. Like, so I think if I wasn't in Ghana already, I'll be looking to be friends with Denta, because she knows you can message her and she'll respond. You can tell her anything about your business. One of the ladies was like, oh God, I can't believe it. I sent Denta an email, a message, and she responded, And I said, yeah, that's cool. And she'll help you and she'll connect you to somebody. And she's been really helpful to my business. And that's why I'm happy to also support other people, because Denta's helped me. People like Eben, my brothers, a lot of friends who are already in the industry who knew their way around Ghana. So I think if you think of coming to Ghana, please find a buddy, or any one of us, any other entrepreneurs out here, then can connect you to somebody to help you transition into Ghana. So please, I mean, if I was still living in England, that is what I would do. So I suggest you make a friend. You can find me on Instagram. You can message Denta. I'm sure she gets 1 million messages every day, but she will find time to respond. Please message her. WhatsApp her. I'll share her phone number for you.
Oh, Ruth. So Ruth,
she will help you. She finds time for everybody. Trust me. Yeah.
Ruth, your Instagram is it Miss Ruth Amoah, right?
Yes. Miss Ruthie Amoah. Yeah.
Miss Ruthie Amoah. Like this. So guys,
we should do this again. We should definitely do this again.
So yeah, no, definitely we have to, because people want to know. They want to know really, and that's a series that I'm doing over the next couple of weeks. Is I'm going to be speaking to people that have moved back home, and for them to just share their stories, and so to encourage you and for you to learn before you also make that jump. But yes, 100%, the move back home is essential, impactful, and it will make a difference in your life as well. So Ruth, thank you so much for joining me on the show. It was short and sweet, wasn't it? That's my Ruth for you. She is quirky, she is loving, she is funny, and she's just Ruth. She's annoying as well. I tell you, she doesn't attend places on time. She does it to me all the time. You'll tell Ruth, oh, Ruth, we're going out. Be here by 9. She's turning to Ghana time. If it was Richard Branson, she wouldn't be turning up at 11 o'clock when I've told her 9. Exactly. But she's done so well for herself. She does chocolates, and she's got this amazing, mini restaurant tea type chop bar type of thing going on. She's done really, really well. And guys, follow her on Instagram. I've put her Instagram up. Follow her. She's also done her own juice as well. She's got her own juice. We didn't even delve into like things that Ruth is doing. We would certainly do that. Probably this week. I'll see whether we can do maybe the end of the week. She'll come in, and then, because I've seemed to have better reception than she does, and then we'll continue with the conversation. But guys, thank you so much for joining me on the Tonight Show. It's been a minute. I know I haven't seen you guys in a while, but it's good to see you. Guys, don't forget to join Ordana Network. It is the platform for all partnerships and investment opportunities that you may be looking for. We're going to be launching that by the end of the year. I know I've been dragging this, but I just want to make sure that it is right. Guys, please support my daughter's business, Princess Aria. Her shea butter is amazing. Grab one, guys. It's smooth. It smells so good. It smells really, really good. This is just a little bit that I've put on, and look, it's just, look. So soft, nice and shiny. It's really, really good. Shea butter all the way, right? Shea butter all the way. I'm going to put the details up on the screen for you. It's a Rhea shea butter. My daughter's only 8 years old. It's in partnership with Couture Haven. It's FDA approved, guys. Go online and let's support our own. Let's purchase. Again, to my favorite shito. This shito dear, it's got everything inside, all guys. Go on prodigyfood.co. You will not be disappointed. Absolutely not. Go on there and, grab one. She does different spices, jollof seasoning. Oh my God, the jollof seasoning. Get that as well. Oh, I forgot to also mention my daughter has her own alata samana. Really nicely done, guys. Use it for your hair. I actually use alata samana to wash my hair. It's very, very good. As well as, bathing with it. So guys, if there's no other questions, thank you so much for watching. We're going to be doing a run of these. So probably, what's tomorrow? Tomorrow's Thursday. I will do a show again tomorrow. We're going to start at 9 o'clock every single night, and, get the conversation about moving back home to Ghana, the questions and answers that you are looking for. Thank you so much. Stay blessed. Like I said, we've got some events. I've got my Dear Denta event coming up on the 30th of December at Underbridge in East Legon. For all those young people that want to be empowered, inspired, it's an event for you. We also have A Taste of Ghana, Rock Your African Print, which is about rocking your African print, promoting that print, and also tasting the best dishes that Ghana has to offer, as well as learning about our culture and our heritage. So that's an event that's happening on the 28th of December at the Osu Castle. So you must attend that as well. And then we have our Guba cruise to Akosombo on the Dodi Princess. Oh my God, guys, we're going to go to the monkey sanctuary to see the monkeys and some animals there. Then we're going to go to the King's Palace to learn about our history of Akumu. And then we will go on the Dodi Princess, have lunch, enjoy good music, and just learn about the Volta region. So guys, it is important that you join us on all of these trips. Go on my Instagram page, Denta_show. Follow me. All the information are there. You know, if you're already in Ghana, these are some of the events that you need to be able to attend. But my Dear Denta will also be online on Zoom, so people can join as well. And if you do want to sponsor me, do want to sponsor any of these shows, because especially with my Dear Denta, what I'm doing with the funds is that I help, you know, young people who aren't able to pay for their school fees attend school. So, which is very, very important to me. I feel like education is extremely important. And sometimes a lot of these girls don't have the money to attend university and struggle and, you know, try and find different ways and means to raise in money. And so we just, you know, the Goober team, the family just help to make sure that we get young girls into schools without any challenges. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys are also Kotoko fans. We have a match tomorrow. Make sure you watch that. And I'll see you all tomorrow. God bless you all. Love you lots. Mwah. Bye-bye.